Ever since I blew, they all on my hey, back then, didn't know I exist. Don't touch my cup, you know how I sip. Hey, got your long, say I made her when I showed out my whip. Hey, spent about 10 on my fit. Ex-slick, then hit with the back then, used to out the zip. Blow out his back and then dip. Got a whole party all on the ship. All these 4 lanes pull out the VIP. Suck to a nut, baby, pour out the milk. So you know how I drip.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready. 10 logo. Recon, 132 fighter. You better be afraid. Go.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Wow, first play in the game, CD, 75 yards. These people, they haven't even filed in yet from the tailgate lots.
Everyone talks about starting out fast. Everyone talks about getting explosive-type plays. That was absolutely a thunderbolt. And on the defensive side...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. That's a live ball scooped up by the offense.
Oh, we got it. We got it. Good job, D. Good job, D.
So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd down now, it's Thomas. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
It's 3rd and 10.
Shut! 15 on it. 15 on it. You got nothing to work. You got nothing.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 79 yards, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, Those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
So that will push him back.
And now we know why I had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Rock it.
From the gun, Herbert. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
On 2nd down, it's Thomas, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. He's going deep for Brown. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. As the Ravens push further out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming. 56 to Mike. 56 to Mike.
Operating from the gun, Herbert. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Throwing on 1st down, Herbert.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Now this is going to work out well as it's out of bounds near the 13-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now it's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. He'll run it. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sam Hubbard in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Now the first carry for Brian Hill, and he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Jackson now. Looking left side, and it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And that one results in 35 yards.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports.
14, Bengals 6.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
This time, Jackson will throw it. And an alley to run. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
To throw on second down. Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun to give to Mixon. And they're able to get this one across the 30.
The tackle made at the 36-yard line. A gain of 14. First down, Cincinnati.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
So we got man.
From the gun, Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And another tackle broken. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. That'll bring up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Whip.
Look at me. Go.
Check.
Get it.
Now Joe Mixon, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Hey, Alpha.
You don't want none. 56. Mike, 56. Right there.
Defense.
Operating from the gun. Herbert, he's got his man, Boyd. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 26. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. On 2nd down, here's Mixon, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. This is a very impressive drive, especially when you consider where they started from to now be set up 1st and goal.
Yeah, some nice running right there. That's what got them the 1st down. But at this point, I suggest open up your playbook. You can call just about what you want.
And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4.
You draw perfect. Hey, Steve 6.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. From the gun on third down. Herbert. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up fourth. Now it's first.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Here's a run with Mixon, and he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon with his second TD of the game, his sixth on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. So now the Bengals offense will stay out there as they'll decide to go for two. Open man is Ross, complete. And he's not going to get in as a try for two comes up empty. So they will be unable to cut this to a field goal as the differential remains 5. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Now Jackson on first down. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again, Jackson. Being chased out left. He's going to take off with it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch the twist. Under T. Set up.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
Now Jackson flushed out, and a big loss here as he's taken down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing is Jackson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Bengals drive about to get going. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Miller, his second touchdown on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. That option pitch we saw, we don't witness a ton of that in the NFL, but it worked there down near the goal line for a score.
And it's actually a great call in goal line situations because as more and more quarterbacks enter the league with that mobility and having run option in college, more pro teams are adding it to their arsenal. And now it's not just, does the quarterback run it? Does he pitch it? Now they've added that third element. He can rise up and throw the ball as well.
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready up.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And
he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon, 75 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
At the 25-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Two times. 4 down.
To throw is Jackson. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now it's Jackson. Now he'll pull it down. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster. and we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
When you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out ahead, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen. Defense.
From the gun, Herbert. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. 33 yards that time.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
On 2nd down now, Mixon. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are going to jump back in front. So now the Bengals offense will stay out there as they'll decide to go for 2. They're going to run it with Anderson. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
First and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. This is Thomas. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Jackson. He sets to fire deep. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Here's Jackson. It's complete to Graham. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That's good for a Raven first down, 15 yards there.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Thomas. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
I'm going back to you.
2nd and long. He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, but they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Jackson on 3rd and long. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Around the NFL, 3rd quarter from Foxborough. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Herbert going deep downfield for Ross. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Sam Hubbard, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. 2nd and 15. Steps away to his left. He'll try and run it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it, and they will set up shop red zone territory at the 13-yard line. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards.
Check 50, check 50. He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Kill. 5.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. About 3-5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Back to throw. Herbert. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Touchdown, Cincinnati. The kicker on for the point after.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Gets fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sam Hubbard make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Going deep this time for Miller. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Thomas. And an alley to run. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. As they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's go. 18 Gators.
Check 56. Hey, let's get that home. Slam, slam.
80 weapons.
Check 49, check 49. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3. Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh. Send them west.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it.
Look. Squeeze. Hit it.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
The Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 11. Operating from the gun. Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run on 1st down. Thomas. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 7. Flush to his right. And he's going to keep it here. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
How many times have we seen this late in the fourth quarter? Because you know the pass rush is getting after him, and they get upfield, get that great push, and what do they create? Space, and he takes off.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run with Thomas. And a short gain down to about the 33. Big Andrew Billings there on the stop.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Forced out to his left. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 16.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Everyone, you got 4 down.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position back.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Hendrickson, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Trey Hendrickson, a 10-yard loss on the sack.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Herbert. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Now a desperation throw deep downfield, and that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And he whips that one incomplete there. Rodney Anderson, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. He'll look to throw. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
To John Ross. Touchdown, Cincinnati. The kicker on for the extra point.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. Taking it right down Broadway. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll run it with Hill. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Just like that.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's in for the touchdown. And in the final seconds, forget overtime. They've just likely won this thing in regulation.
I don't know how many more of these my heart can take, my man. I just don't know. Another big touchdown. Late in the game, they look like they're in control, but still, there's a chance. Block the extra point, go down and score, kick the extra point themselves. They can pull this one out.
Yeah, but also on the sideline that just took the lead, you got to get your defense ready and the special teams unit for the kickoff coming up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Got to pull everyone together and make sure they're still focused and aren't already celebrating a win.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
First down, Bengals.
Back to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And he's got this down to the 35. But, Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end, we win. They had one final